Yeah. The subject of cameos, let's talk about that. You guys were this close to getting into Rogue One.
Yes, we were visiting, doing early prep work here, and we've gotten to know Gareth through this process, and so he invited us to come onto the set, and
where'd you get that?
a long
Why
time.
did they cut you guys?
No, we didn't get cut.
Obviously, we were
The
bringing
worst
it.
part about it was that we were gonna shoot this thing, but my whole family's moving out here to be living here for a year, and I had to go look at a school for my son.
We couldn't be in Star Wars
because
your son had to go to school.
But who did actually get a cameo is Ryan.
Yes, my producer Ram and I, we chose wisely. We chose like the two dudes who we knew would be in the movie. They can't cut us out because we're the two dudes in the firing chamber in the Death Star who pull the levers and go like that. And seeing Ram in that helmet, his hair just barely fit into that helmet.
You may fire when ready.
What we're discovering now is that cameos are now a form of currency among our directors. Because appearing in episode 8.
We stuck Gareth in there. We did stick Gareth. Where is he? Do we have a...
I think we have a picture of him. Yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
look at him. He's a natural. Oh, he's a natural. Look at that fuzzy little guy. Neil Scanlon's team does amazing work. They're just incredible.
So what's casting? What's that process like for you guys?
I mean, we thought from the very beginning this was the hardest casting challenge of all time. I mean, the biggest boots to fill you can possibly imagine. Try to get someone who can capture all of those essences that you think of as Han. And so we did a very, very, very exhaustive search. We saw over 3,000 people for the part.
All across the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we cast in like 5 or 6 different offices, acting schools all across America and the UK.
It was like cowboy bars, like everything you can imagine. Trying to find someone who was wanted to make sure we turned over every rock to find someone who had the sort of charisma and the sort of maverick sort of swagger and
Turns
sweetness.
out that was a total waste of money because the person who got the part was the first person to audition. He was literally the first person to walk in the door. Kathy, I apologize for wasting that. It's nice to be sure, though.
Do you want to say who it is?
Yeah, I think this is the best kept secret in Hollywood. The identity of this person is Alden Ehrenreich.
Yes.
And he's actually here
And
today.
guess what?
He's here today, so let's bring him out.
Oh my God.
Welcome, Alden.
Thank you. Hi. Hi, everybody.
So what was it like? I mean, as I said, you were the first to audition, and then you had to wait while they wasted the time of 2,999 other people.
Well, I went in a few times, and just the whole time, I mean, when it first came along, I knew kind of everybody would be going out for it, and I read the sides, and I loved them, and I thought, all right, who knows, but let me give it a shot, and then I auditioned for about 6 months, and I went, the coolest part of that audition process was I went on the Falcon, and that is, I mean, kind of what you were saying, Ryan. It's like it's pretty unbelievable, and you get there and you kind of have, as a kid, like this character especially, you play make believe and you imagine, and you kind of imagine what it would be like. So when you get there, you're like, oh yeah, okay, here it is, you know, and it's pretty incredible. So I'm just very, very excited. Yeah.
So you're screen testing aboard the Falcon because I imagine you're trying to see whether or not you have chemistry with the Falcon.
Yeah.
Any other co-stars that you would screen test with?
Yeah, Chewbacca, which is pretty incredible. I'd never acted with a Wookiee, so that's a whole different thing, which was pretty. Yeah, it's amazing. And I had the blaster, and we did the whole kind of costume and everything, and it was awesome. Yeah.
It's such a surreal experience for anybody to like, all right, walk on. Here's the Millennium Falcon. Here's this is the lounge. This is the cockpit, and here's a 7'3" giant talking bear man. And for everybody, it was like the first 20 minutes of like trying to shoot a screen test. Everyone was just sort of like,
We didn't even roll camera. We're just like, they need to get this out of their system.
It's pretty neat.
And what was your trick, Alden, to not do that, to not freeze up by
Well, I mean, you're kind of so. It's like there's something about it that just felt like so exciting that I think that was more exciting than it was nerve-wracking. Like actually being on the Falcon after having seen it for so long is just it's pretty. You just kind of immediately go like, all right, cool, yeah.
Alden, you're about to begin your journey in a Star Wars movie. It seems only fair to bring out an actor who's just recently completed something with 2 Star Wars movies under his belt now. Let's bring him out and see what kind of advice he has to offer. Would anyone be interested? Any fans of FN 2187? John Boyega! This celebration is in your hometown.
Yeah, man, I'm a Londoner.
What's
I'm
that
a
like?
Londoner.
What's that like?
This is mad. Oh, this is fantastic. Obviously, I've been to Celebration before in Anaheim, and we didn't get a chance to really meet the fans out here in London, but this is amazing. There's so many of you, so thank you for having me. Ryan's awesome. I always like to say that he's doing an indie movie within a studio franchise. The characters have been pushed in a new direction in a very, very cool way, and we're having fun. We're having really, really good fun.
How did this shoot compare to The Force Awakens? Because The Force Awakens was your first exposure to being a Star Wars fan on a Star Wars set.
Yeah.
Did any of that kind of
I mean, who
settle down
remembers
for
my
Ace?
Han Solo action figure that I had from Episode 7? Yeah. Remember that? Guys, there's more signatures on it. This just gets better as a Star Wars fan. I get to come into work, I enjoy my time with new members of cast, and obviously Ryan's great with a new energy and a new take on a real story, and it feels like Star Wars, but then at the same time we have a new director to lead us in an interesting path. So it's really, really fun. I'm having fun. Oh man, you're playing Han Solo, man. Oh man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's been great, and the Star Wars fans have been amazing. It's like the best fandom to be a part of. It's really, really cool.
So any words of advice for Alden here?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. But, you're going to be fine. I mean, you got that charm stuff down, don't you? And he's smiling just like, This is great. No, it's going to be fun. Very, very good experience, man. And obviously, you've got a great head on you, so you enjoy the ride. For sure. Take care of him.
This is a family that keeps growing. Look, I mean, we've got the prequel trilogy represented here with Ryan and John, and we've got the new standalone programs represented here with Chris, Phil, and Alden, and it just feels like we need to represent the classic trilogy here, don't we? We need to really fill out this family portrait. So, without further ado, please welcome Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. How's Star Wars Celebration going for you?
You know, it's amazing because the emotions that come across are so genuine and so raw. You know, it's moving in a way because you can tell you're part of people's childhoods, and it's like this palpable exuberance. I mean, sometimes I just get lightheaded with it. I have to think of something else, or I just faint dead away.
Something because people say, "Are you guys really like brothers and sisters?" I said, "Yeah, we fight all the time. We're not speaking to each other for years at a time.
Now we're not speaking to each other.
But we have a shared experience, and darn it, I will defend her with my life." But she still drives me crazy.
It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do
It
it.
is.
I can't thank you all enough for coming and saying hi and wrapping up this celebration in such a memorable way. This is the Star Wars family. We're going to take some family portraits here before we wrap. And I want to remind everyone that the closing ceremonies are happening here. Warwick Davis is going to come out and recap what an amazing past 3 days this has been. All of us, we're going to see you in Orlando, where we're going to be able to talk about Star Wars Episode 8 and the untitled Han Solo Star Wars movie. Please join me in thanking these amazing panelists.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey,